I remember when I was about 5 years old, I saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and that movie just kind of blew my mind. It really captured my imagination, because uh, with shrinking the kids and putting them in the backyard, just this whole crazy fantasy world that you could find in your own backyard just by being smaller. I was just so enamored with that, and of course it caused me to think about ants a little bit differently, because of course if you remember that movie, there's that whole part with the ant. The kids bond with the ant, and he fights the scorpion, a big hero. So I love that, and I always kind of wondered why don't they make more movies like that, where like people shrink and encounter seemingly everyday innocuous things, and it becomes a big challenge. Well, I guess here's an answer. We have Ant-Man, where the biggest appeal of this movie is those types of scenes where Paul Rudd, as the main character, as Ant-Man, he shrinks to the size of an ant, and he has all these adventures through drains, through blades of grass that are huge, through tiny micro circuit boards and things like that, and that's all really fun. This is, of course, a Marvel movie, and at this point, these guys really know how to make a good movie, particularly with characters that aren't quite as well known, like what they have done with even Iron Man, really. I mean, when you think about it, Thor, all that, not like the hugest names, but guess what? Now they are. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, too. I wouldn't say this is as big of a revelation as Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a good movie, though not a great one, but I think it is entertaining, and I think it does have a lot of charms to its characters. I think it has enough humanity where it counts, and very inventive in its scenes where the main character, of course, shrinks down and fights the bad guys, basically. This is very familiar territory, I'd say. A lot of this actually reminds me of the first Iron Man, because we have the character played by Michael Douglas, of course, who's the original Ant-Man, developed this technology. He's in kind of a power struggle with the new up and coming kid in the company. So it feels kind of like almost like a switch of the Obadiah and Tony Stark relationship, except the new up and comer is the evil bad guy, and the old geezer is the good guy. And I liked how actually Michael Douglas is actually a really, really big part of this movie. I'd say it's just as much his story as it is the Paul Rudd character's story. And I think there's this whole family dynamic. It's like a protege and master kind of thing, but also Douglas's daughter, played by Evangeline Lilly. She's also in the mix, and there's an estranged relationship there, and Rudd is kind of like caught in the middle awkwardly, and he does the best he could, but I thought it worked really well, and those are the strong points of the movie. Not so strong points would probably be the villain. I know Marvel movies always definitely have their issues with the villains. This one, Yellow Jacket, the kind of smug up and comer in the company, he's not that interesting of a villain. It all kind of amounts to the monologuing in the final battle that we all see before. They kind of make an excuse that the technology is screwing with his brain a little bit, that turns him evil, as opposed to just being evil for the sake of being evil, which it feels like he is anyway. So it doesn't really excuse it or excuse the kind of safe writing there. So yet another underwhelming Marvel villain, and I think Ultron is looking better and better these days, isn't he? There also a kind of a heart to this story, where this character Paul Rudd, he's just trying to make it after being an ex-con, making some bad decisions, and it's very important that we like him, so he stresses that he's not a violent criminal, he's just a cat burglar, and he gets sent away to prison, can't get a job, wants to, see his daughter, but he can't, the wife won't let him, or the ex-wife, I should say, played by Judy Greer, who literally plays the same character that she does in Jurassic World, almost note for note. And maybe like another thing I'll mention is that the daughter is kind of annoying too. I feel like an asshole, like I feel like a crotchety old geezer hating on these kid actors, but the girl who plays his daughter is just annoying. She like yells every line that she has, like "Dad, can we go to the park?" No, I don't know. It's really annoying, but whatever. There's still at least kind of a human touch there where we like this character. And Paul Rudd is very charming as this character, and he really feels right at home, in this big Marvel universe. And of course there are the little references and things like that, because there's always going to be, every post Avengers movie, there's going to be that question, well, why don't they just call up the Avengers? Well, this one kind of acknowledges that, which is pretty good. I won't say any more than that, but I thought it was pretty funny. And yeah, it has its good action scenes. We have a likable main character. In fact, three likable main characters in Lily and Douglas and Rudd. Very good trio, I think. So it doesn't reinvent the wheel, I'll tell you that. But it entertains, it has fair enough characterization, has a charming lead, and it has some imagination, with the shrinking scenes. And I particularly liked, one scene where he, gets caught on a record and the record's spinning around. I thought that was pretty fun. And all the Marvel stuff you can expect, like little cameos here and there, Easter eggs. And one non-Marvel thing here. Well, spoiler alert, there's a fucking cameo by Stan Lee, in case you wouldn't guess that. But the most surprising thing to me in this movie, there's a cameo by Garrett Morris from the original Saturday Night Live cast, playing a cab driver in this movie, who encounters Ant-Man. He's like, what the hell? I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, what the fuck is Garrett Morris doing in this movie? But anyway, I think it's fine. This isn't a rave review, but it's very entertaining. I think it's a very worthy and fitting entry in the grander scheme of Marvel Universe films. They've got the recipe for Coca-Cola, and they keep cranking out bottles. What can I say? So I'd rate Ant-Man 3 stars out of 4. It's entertaining. Paul Rudd is great. Michael Douglas is great. Evangeline Lilly is great. And it has a lot of imagination to it, and it was entertaining. So that's my review. I liked it. Where I'd rank it in the overall scheme of things, probably in the middle of the pack. Not as mind-blowing as some others, but I had a good time. And I think this one probably, I would say littler kids would like this movie better, just because it kind of captures your imagination in that same kind of way that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids does. So there's some value to that. And at the end of the day, we kind of have to acknowledge, yes, the adults love the comic book movies, but kids gotta like them too. And I think this one's aimed a little bit more towards kids. So yeah, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit Derek237.com for more reviews, and until next time, I'll see you later.